Welcome back for a brand new episode of the Maria Bruemmer Show. I am super excited that you could be here today for this brand new episode of the Maria Bruemmer Show. We've got a very special show planned and a very special guest. His name is Lee Bishop. He is an amazing entrepreneur, real estate investor, fellow fortune builder, and one of my top affiliates here at EFundingExperts. So please like, share, and subscribe as it really helps the channel grow. And remember, if you're looking for lending for your business, either to start up a business, expand a current business, or even invest in real estate, check out that description box below. There'll be a link down there for you to set up a free consultation with me, and I'll give you a call. And without further ado, I am super excited to get started. So let's go ahead and get Mr. Lee James Bishop on the line. Thanks so much. 1 second. All right.
This is Lee.
Hey, Lee. Thank you so much for being here on the Maria Bruemmer Show today. I'm super excited to have you on, and I have a very special show planned for us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's been a fantastic day and a fantastic week, and I'm glad to talk to you.
Well, I'm glad you could be here today, and I absolutely love your energy, Lee. And I've prepared some very special questions, and I've already let the viewers know what an amazing entrepreneur you are, from real estate to lending, and even being one of my top affiliates here at EFundingExperts. So
I'm happy to hear that.
Well, I really
Should I be nervous about your questions?
No, not at all. It's just a conversation about business between friends so we can educate and inspire the general public. So
okay.
Definitely I want to get started the same way that I do with every guest here on the Maria Bruemmer Show, and give you the floor to kind of tell us a little bit about your journey and your business and how you got started to where you are today.
Goodness gracious. It's a long story, but I'll make it short.
Okay.
I've been in IT for almost, it seems like a lifetime, and I retired at 57, and my wife said, "You can't retire, you're too young." And I said, "Okay, what are we going to do, honey?" And she said, "We're going to do real estate investing." And I said, "I don't know if I want to swing a hammer." And she said, "Let's see what Dan has to say with fortune builders." And I said, "Okay." So in 2018, we joined Fortune Builders and jumped in with both feet and set up a business. And Jane was a 51% owner, and I was a 49% owner. So we're minority-owned company, and that seemed to help. And then last year, we went through some troubled times, and my marketing campaign was all about pre-foreclosure, and I had a bunch of people I was trying to help, but they had the government backing them, so they decided not to do anything until it was too late. And then, the government ended its moratorium. And long story short, I said, you know what, I need to try something else this year and get into lending. So I went to another system to learn how to do money broker and started a business doing that. So this year I've been jumping all in, both feet, loving it. I just hired somebody today to help me.
That's amazing. And I know we cross paths both because of fortune builders and also lending. And
absolutely.
And I know and I know that you not only do we have fortune builders in common and also lending, but I know that you're actually good friends with the founders of Fortune Builders. And one of my questions today, and I'm kind of curious, did they ever offer you the opportunity to coach? Because I know you have a lot of experience under your belt nowadays with real estate. And if not, have you considered it?
Actually, as much fun as I would have doing that, and I love teaching people, I was never approached, and I never pursued it. I'm trying to get the business off the ground to where I'm really comfortable with it and it can almost run by itself. And once it gets to that point, then I'll get in and start paying back. I'll be teaching people how to do it, and it's a rewarding experience. And it does your heart so much good to help people that really need have a need, a financial burden, and it just is so rewarding. It really is. It's heartfelt. It's gut wrenching when it doesn't work out, and it can crush your soul. So you have to have a lot of fortitude. But when you see the smile on the people's faces when you can help them, and even when you're buying and holding, and you get renters in, and you see these people enjoying the home that you bought. And they're staying in it, and they're living their life dream and living in a single family home that they wouldn't be able to afford themselves. It's all a wonderful experience from soup to nuts. It's great.
Exactly, and I think one of the most important things that doesn't often get said as much as it should is, as entrepreneurs and real estate investors or even business owners, it's so important to be a pillar in your community and be able to have a way to give back, because all the work that we do, the most rewarding part is to not only provide a good service to our clients, but also to be in a position where we can impact our community and make a difference. So it's really important to be able to have an outlet to give back, and it's one of the most rewarding parts of being an entrepreneur, I would say.
I would agree with you. Yeah. I would agree. I help support. JWB is one of the members of Fortune Builders.
One of the main founders.
No, they're not one of the founders. They're one of the guys that started. They were in the first class that Fan did, and they're doing a gangbuster job. So when you do your course on asset protection and retirement planning and all that stuff, these guys are one of the vetted ones, JWB in Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where I have the homes at with them. And they have a golf outing where they build a home for a veteran.
Oh, wow.
That has troubles and give it to them.
Oh, that's amazing.
And last year they were able to do 2, and it is a great, it's a great thing. And so I do that, and a friend of mine up here is in Baltimore, Maryland, he works with Johns Hopkins Group for kids who have debilitating diseases and don't have a life expectancy past 5, and it's called Camp Sunshine. And he calls me up every year, and he says, "Hey, can you buy water for us for the so I end up buying a pallet of water so that they can just be outside and enjoy the fresh air, and the kids look forward to that every year, and they say that's one of the nicest the best thing, because they can't be out on their own, and Johns Hopkins has all the doctors and all the nurses there, and they let these kids go to this camp for a week, and it's just amazing.
Oh, they get to just be kids again. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. They get to be human. It's like and all the risks are taken care of. By the doctors being on staff there and everything. It's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And these are the things that entrepreneurs can do once they become successful and get in a position where they can give back. And that's one of the most amazing parts of being an entrepreneur, and one of the things that keep me going, because I always love to help. And I think that with the Maria Bruemmer Show, not only can I help business owners and the community, but I hope to eventually be in a place where I can figure out a way to change lives for the better, and figure out a way to keep giving back, because it's important, and it really is the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur. And so obviously, because you've been an affiliate with EFundingExperts for a while now, and I enjoy working with you so much. What would you say is the thing that actually was the catalyst to you becoming to you wanting to get into lending? I know you started off with real estate, but what really made you pursue lending?
Honestly, if you do any wholesaling deals, and as a real estate investor, people generate income by doing wholesales, to build up their home funding so that they can do, the fix and flips, get into the more expensive things, projects and everything. And what made sense to me was talking to a guy, and he said, you know what, if I can do wholesaling and give you the money to do the real estate investing, fix and flip, that's just, a hand in a glove, right? Why wouldn't I be able to offer somebody the funding to do the project when I know I have a home that's going to make them a profit, you know?
Exactly. It just makes
so
it well-rounded.
It just made so much sense to me that you know, the lending arm, the money broker side would just, you know, and the funny thing is wholesaling is the best lead generator for the lending arm,
that
the money
so
broker
true.
side.
Definitely, because you have all the leads coming in on the real estate side. You've got the wholesaler that wants to find buyers, and then you're the solution to it all with the lending.
Right. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's been that even that has just been a rewarding experience, you know.
Absolutely,
that I'm able to help these new people who don't know. You know, everybody when I was going to the Fortune Builders things, and they were saying, you know, who's a lender? Who can I get money from? Who and you know, everybody always said, well, if you have a good enough deal, the money will come to you. Yeah. But I was working with a guy that, you know, I looked at the deal, and he was a real estate investor. He's just getting started, and his wife's telling him, don't make any mistakes, don't lose money and everything. And I looked at this first deal that he's trying to put together, and he's going through refunding, actually. But he said, you know, I'm looking at it, and I said, man, it looks like you're going to make just $5,000 on a deal. And I said, why don't you do this? Instead of putting $60,000 in repairs and rehab, why don't you get the contract, the house under contract, and then offer to, you know, you say you got a crew, and for $30,000 you can give them the kitchen of their dreams. And for another $10,000, you know, or $15,000, you can give them the master bath that they've always wanted, and that way they have some say into what is being done to their brand new house or their reconditioned house, you know, and I think it's a win-win, and he decided he was going to go that route. Yeah. So he's getting the funding to purchase with you, and he's not going to end up putting $60,000 into the rehab. He's going to, you know, make it available, clean, habitable, and then offer to do the uptick on, you know, when he sells it. So he won't have to, you know, he'll get a buyer faster, I think, you know. So that made sense to him. And it made sense to me, and I'm glad I could help him with it. Yeah. And I'm glad he's going through EFunding to get it done.
And EFundingExperts appreciates being a part of that success and helping everybody get where they need to be. And that's one of the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur, especially in real estate, is that you get to provide so many different ways to bring value, build relationships, and provide solutions that help people succeed. And it is very rewarding. And that's why I love being a member of Fortune Builders, being in real estate, and doing what I do here at EFundingExperts. And it's all the more better when I get to work with amazing people like you as well.
You're so sweet.
No, thank you, Lee. I really do enjoy it. So I definitely love having these conversations because it helps me to get to know people on what they're doing in their journey, right? And like Fortune Builders says, that everyone should have a why that motivates them, and everyone should have clear-cut goals, right? So one of the questions I love asking myself and other people is, where do you see yourself in 1 year and 5 years when you look at your clear-cut goals and you look at your journey and where you are today and where you want to be?
Well, in 1 year, I expect to have a nest egg that is, you know, going to make us comfortable. And in 5 years, we're going to be in Galveston, and I'll get semi-retired, but my wife will definitely be retired. She's still doing the W-2. She loves the sales that she's doing, as she's a sales manager. And so she's got people that report to her, and she's in a little independent Italian distributor in Baltimore, and she just loves it. So
awesome.
A little family run business, and if I can talk her into working with me in a year, then she's going to do that, and then we'll do that until we move to Galveston.
And Galveston's where the magic will happen, and the retirement, and all of the living life to the fullest.
Exactly.
And not have
my
to
wife
worry
said
about
every time we go to Galveston, my wife says, "Man, this does feel like a vacation." So when we're living here, it's going to feel like a vacation instead of a retirement.
Exactly. Every single day. And what could be better, right? That's amazing. Good plan.
Yep. Yeah.
And you've been able to help so many people along the way on your journey, Lee, and you've been able to accomplish so much, and you still have so much to accomplish, and it looks like you're loving every minute of it. But you're in a great position to, give advice, because we learn every step of the way in our journey and how we get to where we are. And I have to ask, if you could give someone advice that might be thinking about, either getting started in real estate or lending, what advice would you give?
Oh my God. It's funny. It's the simplest thing. And it's what Fortune Builders tells us. If you learn something, do something. Because if you're just learning something, then you're not accomplishing something.
Right.
So you have to really take action. And it's the hardest thing, because there's so many avenues, there's so many things to learn. But if you do the little steps along the way, you do the thing, you create the elevator pitch, you talk to the realtor that you have to talk to, right? You have to do these actions. You have to talk to the lawyer. But if you don't do anything and you just learn how to do it, then you're not accomplishing anything, So the hardest part, really, honestly, is just doing it. Because, the people, like I said, if you have a good enough deal, or you have a deal where you think, I'm not sure about this deal, and you talk to somebody who has been in that position, or somebody, like me or you, who has other solutions, or maybe an alternative way of doing it, it might be the solution that you're looking for that could make it work for you, So if you're on the fence, it never hurts to talk to somebody. And I love telling people things. My wife says I spend too much time talking on the phone, but you know what? It's really about relationship building.
Yeah.
And if they don't have confidence in me, and I don't have confidence in them, I'm not going to do a thing with them. But I met recently this realtor that said she wanted to get into real estate investing, and she was at a RIA. And I was amazed. I said, "What the heck?" I said, "What made you come up here and join this?" And she said, "I'm just interested. I would like to do it." And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna teach you." Yeah. And so I got her on my team, and I had my broker coach come in last week, and I had her sit in and listen to what how she could help me and how she could help herself and other real estate investors. So she got a huge benefit out of being a team member of mine.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's a young girl, and I said I was just proud of her for taking the initiative to doing that, and I think I rewarded that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely true, and it's also rewarding for you to be able to help her out and give her that reward on her initiative. But you're 100% correct. And like Fortune Builders,
and kudos to the coach that said invite her. She's on your team.
Definitely.
That's amazing to me. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people would do that.
Absolutely. And it goes back to one of the core concepts of Fortune Builders, and they say this all the time. It's either one day or day one. The choice is yours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Powerful advice, Lee, and thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
You're a doll, baby. I love working with you.
I love working with you too. This was way overdue. We definitely needed to have you on the Maria Bruemmer Show, and I'm so glad we could. So definitely thank you for being here, Lee, and thank you to all of my viewers out there. And please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Maria Bruemmer Show.